In this case, they want you to solve for b sub 1 on this formula for a trapezoid. So what I'm going to do is multiply both sides by 2. I get 2a. Now 2 times a half. I don't have to distribute this. I'm just multiplying. I'm simplifying these. 2 times a half is 1. So I basically have 1h times b1 plus b2. I'm going to divide both sides by h because this is a product. And I'm going to have 2a over h equals b sub 1 plus b sub 2. Solving for b sub 1, I'm going to subtract b sub 2. Your answer is 2a over h minus b sub 2. The area of a trapezoid is 60 square feet, its height is 6, and one base is 12. Find the number of feet in the other base. So what I'm going to do is say, well, my area is 60, I know my height is 6, and then one base is 12 feet. Okay, 60 was the area. Height was 6 and the other base was 12. So I just plug all these numbers in. I get 120 over 6 minus 12 equals 1 base. I get 20 minus 12 equals base 1. Therefore, it is 8. There are other ways you can solve it, but this is the most direct algebraic way. In number 35, it says to draw these two graphs, y equals negative 2x squared and y equals 2x minus 4. I'm going to put both of these in my calculator. On y1, I'm going to do negative 2x squared. I'm going to go to my table, and I'm going to get some of these points, and I'm going to plot those points. I've plotted my points. One thing I forgot to mention is that if you have more than one graph on an axis, you need to label them. So in this case, this is my f of x, so I labeled it f of x. Now I'm going to go to my y equals, and I am going to do 2x minus 4. Okay, it's going to be a straight line. I go to my table by hitting second graph, and I'm going to plot some of these points. I'm actually going to use the same x values as I did just a moment ago. So in this case, I have my g of x, and notice how it intersects at 2 places. Okay, now it says, using this graph, determine and state all values of x. I could not emphasize this enough. They want to know, where are they equal? Where do they intersect? Now I'm telling you, some people in the past have done negative 2, negative 8, and they've written negative 1, negative 2, or excuse me, positive 1, negative 2. Now they did not receive full credit for this question because it's asking you for all values of x only. I could not emphasize this anymore. So the x values, where they're equal, where they intersect, is at 1 and negative 2. Okay, do not put parentheses around it because it's not a point. I basically have 2 separate x values, 1 and negative 2. In number 36, the school is building a rectangular soccer field that has an area of 6,000 square yards. The soccer field must be 40 yards longer than its width. I have this rectangle, so the area is found by doing length times width. My area is 6,000, my length is w plus 40, and my width is w. So what I'm going to do is simplify by distributing. I get w squared plus 40w. If you notice, this is a quadratic equation. So what I'm going to do is subtract 6,000, and I get 0 equals w squared This equation is factorable. I know that the two factors are 100 and 60. So what I'm going to do is set both equal to 0 and solve for w. You cannot have a negative width, so your width is 60. Your width is 60, and it says that the soccer field must be 40 yards longer, therefore the length is 100. Now, if you didn't know how to get these factors, I suggest using the quadratic formula. This is the quadratic formula. It is given to you on your reference sheet. In this case, you know that a is the coefficient of w squared, and that's 1. This is the coefficient of w, that's 40, and then the constant is negative 6,000. And I would plug all those numbers in, and you're going to get 60.